Welcome and hello and welcome. Sorry for those brief technical difficulties. I am not very smart, as my regular viewers have come to know oh too well, oh so well, as the old fairy tale from the South goes. Guys, thank you for joining me. Hello and welcome, and hello and welcome. I am absolutely thrilled to be here. It is an honor, a joy, I will say, probably one of the greatest days of my life, bringing this very special episode of Un Poco Moss right into your living room, right into your dome cap. I'm broadcasting right into your earbuds. Elon has implanted a Neuralink into your brain just to port in Un Poco Moss 24/7. I'm going to slowly drive you insane until you're either broke or crazy or both. That's what you get with Un Poco Moss. Certainly not financial advice, not sound financial advice. The ravings of a madman. Evermore. Quoth the fat man, nevermore. Anyway, guys, enough paraphrasing the late great Edgar Allan Poe. But let's talk a little SoFi, guys. Let's talk a little SoFi. Let's do it in 3, 2, 1. Let's Poco, guys. And remember, I didn't choose the Poco chose me. I never wanted to do it. This is a solemn responsibility, just to try to lead you turds to water, but I can't make you drink. I'm not thrilled about telling anybody to buy this stock right here at 16 because I think it can always check back. But one of the interesting things I see is when the stock was trading above these levels before, the world just basically fell apart. If you draw a little box here between kind of this, little bit over 17 to, around the 14 area, everything after this area sort of into April of 2021, it fits neatly into that box. That's the only place you make a market. That's the only place you get any consolidation whatsoever until you get all the way down here into the lows, all the way sort of below 7. Get a little bit of consolidation, at 11 and 9, but nothing consistent, nothing, multiple tests. So you see basically this triple tests 14 and then, finally fails and falls through that support there. This is sort of when everything did. This was New Year's 2022, and then traded along here. And now look at where we are in this same box. I mean, what tends to happen? You got to say one of two things is going to happen. It's not going to trade in here. This thing's lightning in a bottle. The volatility, I mean, it hasn't really been that volatile here, but it's been extremely volatile up here, which is the world we now live in. I mean, people who think this stock with this growth and these numbers and the profits we're about to see, that's why these progressive ERs, I think, through this year into next year are just absolutely critical for the company because earnings are going to skyrocket. I mean, you've seen it with EBITDA. And if you kind of understand what EBITDA is and how it sort of shakes out over time, and growth kind of takes care of a lot of those things that are, sort of the in between, what's holding, net back from what EBITDA is doing, if you will. I mean, those things kind of fade away. The stock-based compensation, the interest amortization, all this different stuff. So SoFi, it's going to go to the bottom line. I really think 2026 SoFi can easily make $1. I mean, you remember the people like, it doesn't matter what SoFi does, how much money they make. It's just a dead stock. It's always going back to 6. I'm like, that's not how the world works. The market is based around making money. Yes, there's a certain amount of manipulation, trading, mechanics, all sorts of different trades. But at the end of the day, you want to be on the right side of a company that's, really disrupting an industry and growing. If you look at SoFi's growth, it's been one of the fastest growing companies of its size or larger in the publicly traded markets over the last half of a decade. There's just no denying it. There's no denying the growth. I mean, today, they returned about 1 million shares so far. Yesterday, they were borrowing all day and then returned after hours. So it's kind of typical weasel, small ball, pocket pool, tiny wing behavior that these, we've come to know and love from these SoFi short turd, one-eyed trouser snake, meat whistle, sacks of dump. But Anyway, be that as it may. So shares on the short interest still 125 million, shares on loan 72 million. So are they naked short, 50 million shares? Are they trying to step on the stock? Did they crap their pants? What happened? What do we need? The Hardy Boys? So you guys sort of know what happened today, but just look at the chart. What's more likely to happen? This breaking back down, given the trajectory of EPS skyrocketing, even by bear standards, even by like Chia Pet standards, they know this isn't a $4 stock. I mean, KBW again reiterates after he did his New Year's Eve, shake and bake there, Ricky Bobby, came in. It's like, oh, it's not so bad. He's reiterating 8, but when the stock is at 16, you're basically saying the stock is worth half of where it is, which is bad. It's bad. It's bad. But it's the 4s and 5s are absurd. That's why you don't see the Chia Pet or the 5-head anymore. They have proxies. Like the 5-head's whole argument, I listened to that guy for like 90 minutes, was, fair value accounting is a scam. It's going to, and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense, because with demand exploding, fair value accounting is going to help them in the short term. And in the long term, it's agnostic. It's not going to matter. The performance of the company is going to, it's either going to be good or bad for whatever it is. And fair value accounting or the more traditionally used accounting system are going to show the same thing over the long haul. And even he would have to admit that. But he's like, oh, they're front loading the books, all this stuff. Just none of it came to pass. And you're going to see in ERs that, I was right. Noto, my biological father, was right. Chris LaPointe, CLP3, our point guard distributing the rock, was right. Not a lurker was right. Billy Jack was right. Billy Jack's naked short right now. That's cold water. Cold water in his pond. Don't infer nothing. Billy Jack's all taters. Might not be a lot of meat, but the man's all taters. Now, that was some fun, like one of those like road rules things. Hilarious. They were making fun of some guy from down south. He had a small wiener, and he's like, yeah, you might be right. I'm not a lot of meat, but I'm all taters. I'm all taters. Hilarious. I don't remember what show that was or who it was, but I'll never forget that voice. It was so funny. Anyway, it doesn't really help you with your investments or your life or your self-esteem or your weight issues or your rage or your anger management or your horrible credit or your gambling addiction, your alcoholism. All of the above for many of you. Can I mark all of the above? Why are there only 6 problems on this Scantron when the alphabet goes all the way to Z? LOL. Serious, very serious. But yeah, so Little Timmy Swizz came out and hit the stock because just got another, of course, Andrew Jeffrey was with another ratings house. I forget which one. My mind is a big lump of crap. Big sack of mush, big witch's brew of turds and forgetfulness and, stuff like that. But anyway, so he came out with a buy, initiated. Andrew Schmidt from Citi raised and a buy up to 18. Barclays just raised to 16. Deutsche Bank had raised before that. This is all the stuff that came after New Year's. So, Little Timmy Swizz had already just done the hit piece on New Year's right here on this rating on, December 31st sell rating. And it, the stock, of course, fell like 15%, just like it did when his, older brother, the Parrot, Michael Perito, used to sit in his chair. He's since, of course, moved on to greener pastures, better hair plugs, higher hairlines, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Corner office. But, he came out like 2 weeks later. I mean, they got a good deal, for their personal loans. Again, just indicating more robust demand for their personal loans. Their partner came out and said, hey, these are high quality loans. But so 2 weeks, he just wants to he's just starved for attention. That's just basically what it amounts to, is they want to get guys like the bologna sandwich and the Chia Pet want to drag this number down. And guys like Little Timmy Swizz want to get his name to the top of the list because the teacher didn't call on him enough in, grade school or whatever. At least that's my working theory. But I am a complete idiot, so factor that into your calculation. Program that into your algo. You worthless turds. Anyway, what else is going on out there? The great Dan Wynn. These analysts are ridiculous. I always thought that H.C. Wainwright thinks D.A. Davidson's a no good scoundrel and will not recover. It would be better if they did like the voice that tells you about the safety rules and like Thunder Mountain Railroad. Now remember the PE ratio. You guys want to see something funny? You guys want to hear a joke? This one's hilarious. Let's compare Palantir to SoFi just for fun, because I honestly think you have to be completely insane to buy Palantir at this valuation. I mean, it's not just price to perfection. It's price to perfection and then multiplied by 3 or 4. It's price to perfection and then encased in gold and then, encrusted in diamonds and then, platinum plated and then put in a rapper's grill and then taken to the Grammys. Something like that. It's priced to perfection and then multiplied by something stupid. SoFi is not at all priced to perfection. I mean, I know after this is like because the years end at different points, but this is the revenue. This is Palantir in blue, and this is SoFi over the last 5 years. And now look at the if it has it, sorry. Look at the stock price. That's the revenue. Here's the stock price. And people are like, oh, buy this dip. Palantir, it just dipped from 82 down to, 65. But the market cap is just, because you just don't know what's going to happen. How do you know that what Palantir, I mean, with any degree of certainty? I know you can listen to what they say, but SoFi's already earned their money. SoFi's already earned more than this valuation. They've already proven it. Palantir, yeah, they've earned SoFi's valuation and then some. And again, they're a great company. I'm not trying to hate on Palantir. I'm just trying to talk sober sense to the people who say, SoFi's overvalued and priced to perfection. If SoFi's priced to perfection, then Palantir's priced to perfection and multiplied by 3. That's my contention. That's my working theory. But again, I am a complete idiot. And it's like, I'm just like, guys, please keep in mind, this is like tongue in cheek. People are like, oh, you're like hating on everybody. But please, dude, these guys have great educations. Tim Switzer at KBW, David Chiavarini at Wedbush, Giuliano Bologna at, where is he from? Compass Point, I think. I've listened to all these guys. They're Giuliano Bologna, very intelligent guy. Fairly handsome man. I say that as, heterosexual man myself, a little bit overweight, aging poorly. But, maybe I'm just jealous. I listened to the guy for 90 minutes. He seems to make a lot of sense. And at the end of the day, he's talking in circles. It's a bunch of gibberish. But I know these guys are smarter than they let on. I mean, the Chia Pet, this guy's a smart guy. He's been in this industry a long time. He actually knows exactly what he's talking about. I've seen other interviews that aren't about SoFi where he makes a ton of sense. It's only SoFi where he gets hung up on like some boilerplate legalese and stubs his wing on his toe. Oh, guys, I'm so bored with just harping on how great a company SoFi is, and but it is. So following analyst upgrade, should you buy? So this is the PGIM deal everybody's been talking about. It's $525 million personal loan securitization agreement. And they're a monster. $589 billion assets under management, $120 private secure guys credit assets under management. So follows a $350 million in May. So that's like, $1 billion builds on the $3.9 billion personal loan collateral. SoFi's good. So there's lots of demand for SoFi's loans because they have the highest quality personal loans in the industry. And that's the bottom line. All the FUD surrounding that has just been nothing but FUD, and none of it's come to pass. All these people have been completely wrong. People like myself have been completely right. What wouldn't you know? Even a broken clock is right twice a day, folks. The sun shines on a dog's ass once in a while, if you know what I mean. Watch out for relatives and people who click. Like anybody, know what I mean? Know what I mean? Anybody who clicks, probably up to no good. Ugh. Oh, man, I'm so old and tired. No sleep, just beaten down, trying not to drink too much coffee. It's a struggle, guys. Really riding the struggle bus. Taking the struggle bus to the last stop and then just not getting off and just circling the route again. Anyway. So you guys can read all about this. Everybody's talked about it till they're blue in the face. But their personal loan business, their whole lending business is just absolutely crushing. I mean, it makes a ton of money. And, people keep waiting for that loan book to fall apart and, keep waiting because it's never going to happen. The lending market's not good. When you have the highest quality loans, you're not going to get hurt that bad. And SoFi plans for the worst. And they really execute better than anybody else. I mean, SoFi's growth speaks for itself. The fact they've been able to grow incredibly rapidly while becoming profitable. I mean, look at their fundamentals, guys. Look at the trend. The trend is your friend, as they say, as the intelligentsia people like Stock Mo want to say. I know revenue growth is slowing down. I get that. Look at the growth in gross profit, guys. From 720 to 1.21 to 1.7. Revenue. Look at the growth rate. Expecting over $3 billion in 2025. I think it's going to be significantly higher. A lot of it depends on interest rates, but a lot doesn't. Look at the net income trajectory. 2021, they're losing $500 million. 2025, they're estimated to make $340 million. I mean, look at the trajectory. Look at the growth. Just do the math. It's right in front of you. They're going to continue to grow members. They have the right relationships. They have the right products coming online. They have the right type of members. This model hasn't even worked yet, this wheel. Haven't had favorable conditions. They've done all this in crisis mode, against all odds, with their backs against the wall. My biological father, Anthony Noto, he pulled off a miracle. Pulled off a Hail Mary. It's like Boston College ran over that tuba guy. Don't forget Anthony Noto, CEO, SoFi Technologies Incorporated, ticker symbol SOFI. Graduated top of his class, engineering, United States Military Academy. All-American linebacker. Greatest hair in the industry. Looks good in a windbreaker. Sitting at a golf course. Some attractive middle-aged women lobbing softball questions at him in a pantsuit. Sort of some type of Hannah Storm clone. Now, Anthony, these numbers look a little bit soft on the technology side. Next question. You don't want to talk about these soft numbers? I'd rather talk about my windbreaker. Like, well, I must break you. Sometimes I think Anthony Noto's sort of channels his inner Ivan Drago. If I can change, you can change. Here we are, can change. This totally wins over the Soviet crowd, much to the chagrin of the premier. Even put that birthmark on his head. Walked out, dude. Somebody's nuts are getting clipped on that one, if you know what I mean. Guys, in comedy, we go back to the click. That's what we call a callback. Little Roy 101. This might be my worst show ever. They don't have that much debt. That's totally manageable. Net debt, cash position, very strong. They don't need to do any bad money raise. There's tons of demand for their loans. They can raise money right off their balance sheet. I mean, it's a money press, guys. This membership is a money press. The wheel strategy hasn't had a chance to work yet. They're just going to get a return on their investment in the stadium and all these other things. All the money they put into growing this membership in a high interest rate environment. Now they're going to sell products to these stupid rubes and line our pockets, cross our palms. Oh, God. Markets are closed Monday. Interesting. What is that for? Some type of a holiday? Anyway, so guys, that's really all I had for SoFi. Just more good news. Just really stupid reiteration by KBW. But I guess that's like Tim Switzer's job is just, I don't know. Maybe he thinks the stock's just overvalued. I mean, again, I looked at his education. I listened to the guy I read, and he's a very smart guy. He's well trained. He knows what he's doing. Is it a legitimate opinion? Is it a hit piece? I don't know. The timing seems a little strange. Like, why does he on, positive catalyst for SoFi? Very good day for SoFi. You reiterate your $8 on a $16 stock that you just, came out with 2 weeks ago on New Year's Eve. Like, analysts normally make a call like once a quarter, maybe twice if something extraordinary happens. No analyst making a call. This is why I say he's channeling his inner Chia Pet. Chia Pet, at one point, I think made like 4 calls in 6 weeks on SoFi. He's like, sell, and then sell like a week later, and then like 2 weeks later, another sell. It's just serious analysts don't do that. I mean, people thought there was no more serious white people in Charleston. They're wrong about that. Blake Lively's character was currying drugs for the florist the whole time. So there are serious people. But that was Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck was there as well, but he got clean. He didn't even drink. Ben Affleck just had juice. Jeremy Renner, he might add a few drinks. He's like, that's a good line in that movie where he's going to go beat up the guy who like harassed the bank teller lady. He's like, he's like, we're going to hurt people. You can never say anything about it again. You're like, are you in? He's like, whose car are we taking? It's like, and then Jeremy Renner got run over saving his nephew's life, got run over by a snowplow, almost died. And now he's back. So I don't know what that tells you about the SoFi stock. Something about resiliency, something about a plucky executive named Anthony Noto. I refer to affectionately as Papa or Tony Notes or the haircut. Oh, God, I can't believe anybody's watching this. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's ridiculous that companies like SoFi can't do crypto and banking. I mean, so you lay off your banking services to somebody else and that makes it better? That makes it worse. You're not accountable. These zombie banks. Banking as a service. Banking as a service, my nutsack. I don't mean banking as a service in terms of packaging software a la SoFi. I mean banking as a service in terms of these companies that are offering banking services without a bank charter and then doing everything through this one big malaise of a custodian account, whatever you call it. It's one big mixed up account, a big milieu, if you will, a stew. And nobody, the regulators can't go in there. FDIC comes in, bank goes bankrupt, insolvent, whatever happens. They need to do an investigation. They can't even figure out whose money belongs to who, where it came from, when it came from. They just have an overall aggregate amount in the account and some bullshit ledger, some, third-rate fintech. It's probably in the Bay Area somewhere with some, executives who've long since absconded with the few real assets that company had. Took their mistress down to Barbados. Little fun and sun, if you know what I mean. And I think you do. I don't know, guys. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've been off my meds for, I think, 35 years now. My dose is finally equalizing. Doctors say I should be normal soon. Not holding my breath. I guess that's it. Thanks, guys. Peace. I'm out.